I am going to fly economy. It's a good way of saving money and, boosting your economy, blah, blah, blah. But, funny, excuse me, I just almost lost my voice there. A funny thing about Trailer Park is at least the 8 Mile Road is still running through it. It goes all the way down to El Pozo. So I hope somebody actually jumps in that direction. It's going to be exciting to see if someone actually goes to the ruins for a change in this game.
The ruins. I personally am a big fan of archaeology and okay, circle screwed a lot of people over. I like it. And you know what I would love? This is something which you don't see at all. I don't think I've ever casted a game where the circle actually ended on the prison island. Have you?
I haven't, and I mean, by the track record, I doubt that's going to happen. Maybe we might actually. I want to see something along the coast. I want to see some water involved in the final circle, because that is definitely not synonymous. You know what I really want to see? Via Del Mar. I want to see a bridge fight over there. That would be pretty epic.
And Via Del Mar, that would be epic. I mean, we've had some exciting bridge fight games so far, and all of them have definitely delivered. Now, let's look at the drops here. So, as usual, dropping towards Picado. They have Celts right next to them. That's going to be a problem. Celts, man, where was this Celts? Where were these Celts, rather, during the league stage? They have been consistently playing so good in the finals. It's like some catalyst awakened them in the last 3 days. It's insane.
I mean, it could be something along those lines, or it's as simple as, these boys did their homework. They came with their wits about them this time. They made sure that, they want to have the best games possible, and they did go super aggro on day one, which we saw. I mean, they're not going to be shying away from taking fights, but what I do believe is actually working for them is that they're trying to take it easy as well. I mean, they're not doing those dangerous drops. They're rotating as soon as the zone changes. That is something that, they were doing at par with Orange Rock. So definitely a different game plan. Definitely not what they were doing in the league stage. But then again, this is the beauty of such an event that, you actually get to learn from your mistakes. And then when it matters most, if you can bring all the hard work you put in effect, and you play like this, well, I mean, going to the World League, they might just improve even more.
Preparation is indeed what does win you games, or rather tournaments, and that is something that a few teams have definitely showcased. TSM Entity and Orange Rock being two of them that do definitely stand out for us, but of course can't take anything away from the rest of the pack. IND looking very good. We have Godlike and Synergy who have qualified as well. And what I personally enjoy, XP, would be how these top teams, like, they have very varied play styles. It's not like, the same approach. Like Synergy plays very differently from TSM Entity, who in turn play very differently from an Orange Rock, and yet they all find varying degrees of success based on how they approach the game. And I think that's very cool. It's very different from early 2019 or late 2018 when I had a chance to see some of the few PUBG Mobile games in India and South Asia, where it felt like most teams didn't really have a personality, so to speak, in the way they were playing it. But now every team seems to have their own style and approach to the game, which just goes to show how much the game has grown so far.
I mean, that is absolutely spot on. I've always used this analogy that, we're not really far off from sheep, in the sense that if one sheep leads, the others follow. So, that kind of became the trend when we obviously see certain gameplays or certain game styles on display for us on YouTube or wherever these people are streaming, right? So once you see something, I mean, back in the day, the rush gameplay, you get a knock and you rush up on a building, was the play of the year. I mean, if you don't do that, hey, who are you? That was what the word on the street was, so to speak. I mean, the street, of course, all virtual over here. We are not tough guys. We're just playing our video games in our rooms. But, then I guess when a few teams, again, this is the beauty of esports. When you kind of go out of your bubble, out of your comfort zone, and you actually play against teams who know what they're doing, you get to learn a lot more. Not just as a player, as a spectator as well. So, that's when the whole driving your vehicles around became super popular, and everyone was doing it. And if you did not know how to use a vehicle for cover, well, then you're not a good player. So, I like the fact that we are an ever-evolving sport. But like I said, this is a battle royale, dear friend, and there are more than one way to kill your opponents.
And it is. Sometimes their opponent kill themselves with the vehicles as well. We've seen that, and considering how many people are in cars and bikes and scooters and mopeds and whatnot, it worries me a bit, XP. We've seen too many players knocking themselves out with their inability to get off the vehicle after it stops, which is vehicular safety 101. I like the bike, though, Dolce. That looks pretty swag on you.
It kind of reminds me of a hot dog, to be honest with you. You have the hot dog, you have some mustard.
Does. Well, yeah,
it does. I mean,
if you could name it, that would be called a hot dog.
But yeah, we did get that bike in this season. So PUBG Mobile, as usual, bringing us nice little goodies every now and then. But well, you Mumba Blade, these boys again, we associate words like free fall, and they can't seem to catch a break and yada yada yada. But they were popping off, and on day 2, pretty much nowhere to be seen. I mean, they, if you have a look at the points, how many points are they behind Elementrix? If you could just look that up for me. Wait, let me also just see if I have.
I can open that up for you. So Elementrix are right now 95, and you're talking 95. About Megastars, right? No,
Umumba. I think they're 90, right?
So 95 and Umumba are indeed on 90. 5 points of difference.
See, 5 points of difference. Yeah.
Yeah, but above them, the team they need to beat is 30 and 35 points respectively above the two of them. So so whoever wins,
that's one game.
Yeah, just one game, just one big game. But the problem is when you have these 4 guys on the screen right now running around, it's hard to get those 35-point games, isn't it?
And when they come to a stop like this, it's like I'm getting action music in my ears. That somebody is nearby. That's why they're stopping, and somebody is going to get hurt real bad. But I guess they were just making sure that the coast is clear. But yeah, I mean, we've already called them the 4 horsemen. Dude, these guys, wherever they walk, they just bring
what would make me happy?
Destruction with them.
Indeed, they will. But I don't know if you ever read this book called Good Omens by Neil Gaiman, and the co-author, I forgot his name. I think it was the guy who wrote Dune. But anyway, so Good Omens. There's also a TV show on Amazon Prime, which is I think definitely worth checking out for those of you who like good comedy. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse actually do show up, but because it's modern day, they go around on bikes. So what would have been terrifying is that the 4 members of TSM Entity
show now.
on 4 bikes. Imagine TSM Entity on 4 bikes just riding up the 4 horsemen. But speaking of the 4 horsemen, they are facing off against a team who are right now bottom of the table, Powerhouse Gaming, or rather just Powerhouse, who have struggled to make an impact. And the nade sailing in from Clutch God, he is really on point with his nades. That's going to be chunky indeed. Iconic taking a bit of damage. Another nade sailing in. That's going to be a little bit far away, so it's not going to survive for now. Healing himself up, but Clutch God just raining down nades, the artillery barrage. And that should be the call for Powerhouse to probably just kind of call the day and get the hell out of there, as we do see the circle shrinking in. And we should see where the circle second safe zone. It's going to be around Los Leones. And that is me shedding a tear because it won't be towards Menas del Sur.
No bridge fights, no water. That is kind of upsetting. And, well, somebody better show us something amazing right now. I think they want to be careful because I did spot Neo kind of go down the mountain ridge, but now he's come back up. I thought maybe the left flank is going to be insecure, but the right call for Powerhouse, since again, you can kind of see it in the way they're moving around. That confidence is not there. And now they are split up. And Jonathan, if you would believe me, he took an entire rotation play along the right side of our screens. And for me right now, the screen is stationary. So I'm going to have a look at the little preview. And I do believe it is Jonathan on our screens. Yes, it is. He does cook that grenade. And he's going to throw it direct point blank in his face. But Iconic is the one who actually gets a knock on Clutch God. So Jonathan on a fight of his own. He gets one knock. Is he going to get the second knock? Is he going to get taken down by Powerhouse, who definitely need a kill? Oh my goodness. Jonathan reacts just a bit quicker. That jiggle peek over there, making sure he gets the job done. And he is not done as yet. Neo, his teammate, the one, is going to turn his sights on Iconic. And, well, Iconic is the last man standing.
What surprises me is how Jonathan, he's able to climb, the side of that mountain. Powers gets knocked out, but I just want to narrate, okay, they're taking a fight. Jonathan, he's got to go for the long route around, like you said. He had to, try to flank them. And to flank them, he needed to move fast. But with balls that big, again, I reiterate, how is he able to go there so fast? He 1v2'd them, and it looks so easy, the way he plays it. Imagine having the confidence of having a player like that. Jonathan just go kill. Like, okay, cool. That's their tactic. That's literally their tactic.
It's all about how good your razors are and, all that aerodynamic gear that all these boys are wearing. So I think he basically cuts through the wind like a hot knife through butter. But joining the fray right now, Team IND are going up against Marcus Gaming. And just as I said that the dude is down, IND Snacks gets taken down, but Shadow, his assault gets taken down instead. We are down on one man standing for IND right now. Trance is going to make sure he picks his teammate up.
It's a 1v1.
Snacks is getting that revive. However, Max Kosh is coming in. He makes sure that he finishes off Kratos. Trance picks up, he shoots, he gets one knock on Max Kosh. Will he get the second? Oh my goodness, he has no HP left. And with that, out go IND from this game. 15th position. Now that is a real whammy because again, I mean, we were just talking about Elementrix, we were talking about you, Mumba, who are now coming in. They have a chance, play. They actually have a chance.
They do have a chance, and IND, man, it's such a great game. All they needed to do was have an okay game, nothing too crazy, an okay game, and that would suffice. Surya is going to be out in the open anytime soon. He's so low on health, just one bullet, one little scratch would be enough, but somehow the gods have favored him. But considering his name is Surya, I guess he himself is a god. He survives on his own, and he will make his escape. The sole man surviving for Marcus Gaming. I say that, and I jinx him, and with that, they at least get the squad wiped, but they in turn get destroyed. That fight with IND took too many casualties, unfortunately, XP, and with that, both teams get wiped out. And that was good for Marcus Gaming, but they needed to survive, and now we have another fight here on our horizons. Celts, right now second placed, right beneath TSM Entity, and across that little bit of a wasteland is Mumba, and they need to win this fight.
I thought it'd be the desert and all, the sun's out. Surya might actually harness the power of the sun, but he was just a little bit too late to press that button. I'm sure it was coming. He would have got that health back up, and maybe he would have taken down his enemies with the unholy godlike destruction, but that is not the case, of course. And the zone is going to be centering in around Los Leones. We might actually just witness some urban warfare after all one more time, but on our screens we do have Team Tamalas pretty much dead smack center, so they are in a good position. But Team Extreme is coming in at one end, the Celts directly to their south, and to their north they have to be content with, well, Godlike Guild just a bit to the northeast, and they are getting pushed on by TSM, so they do have their work cut out, but they've got to pick their battle now. They've got to be careful. They can't take the entire world at once, but maybe if they take them on one at a time, they can get something out of this, because the first opposition, the first obstacle does look like it's going to be Godlike, and, well, if Godlike do what they've done before and just unleash that inner beast and go Super Saiyan, go Godlike, play as their name dictates, they might just, show us something different this time. But Orange Rock having them in your crosses, is that a good idea? And meanwhile, Orange Rock had them in their crosses, because now TSM Entity is showing up, and with that explosion, well, they are saying hello in quite a spectacular fashion.
I have a bad feeling about this, XP. I have a bad feeling about this. They're in a house, and the wolves are coming knocking. Look at that. They're coming knocking. The four horsemen, they ride again. And death, pestilence, war, and I forget what the fourth one is. Yeah, the fourth one's called Jonathan. They're coming in together, and Orange Rock are like, this is not looking good. In the meantime, Team Extreme are just demolishing everyone. Anto drops Neo. That's a big drop. However, the rest is going to be coming in. Look at Clutchcot's position. He's providing.
He's actually in a good spot.
This is a very good spot from him. But Anto with a high ground advantage. This is something that could come really into use. But here's Amenity. The other team is going to stay by. Clutchcott gets spotted out, though. It's another team joins the fray. Elementrix's Shagar is just rattling off bullets, but doesn't quite land the shot.
He had to be careful, because I saw Shagar in the background over there. I'm like, oh my goodness, if Clutchcott does not realize that there is someone creeping up on him like that, that could be devastating. But Neo has been picked up, so TSM are back in full force. Orange Rock, of course, they lost Vampire just moments ago, so that is going to be a little bit of a man disadvantage for them. But the way they are currently, spaced out in this house, I don't think it's going to be a problem. OR definitely, if you think about it, if you have a look at the way they're set up right now, OR, you would assume that they are safe, right? They have that little bit of a high ground. They have buildings, but they've got to be careful, because just off screen to the left, we have Godlike, who, when you are high up on a mountain, you are easy pickings, because there's not a lot of cover in those windows. And if you get spotted out, and we know Gil and the boys, they love shooting you from miles across. So that
Indeed.
is something that they've got to be careful about. But
Indeed. And a problem right now for that little bit of a standoff we saw in Orange Rock, TSM Entity, and Team Elementrix, none of them are in a circle right now, and they all have to move. So it's looking rough here. As a Megastars and Soul, it looked like they're about to go into a fight, but Soul decide to not really go for it. They're going to be playing this one a little bit safe.
well, they are making their way into the zone, which they have done so. But look at the map. We have the boys from Celts right above them. We have Mumbai Esports in front of them. And Jonathan and the boys are getting out in their vehicles once again. But I think Zegod is forced off his car because it is going to explode any second now. But Jonathan's like, you know what, you got this? He's like, yeah, I got this. He's like, all right, see you in the next one. And Zegod and Neo are going to stay behind. Meanwhile, 420 OP gets a knock on Sangwon. This is the fight we are joining in right now. Viper goes down to his M4 as well. 420 OP's like, you know what? I gave my position to Jonathan and Klaskard yesterday. No more. I want to reclaim my spot back, but he's got to be careful. He's got to not get knocked out. He goes prone. He does get that finish on Viper, but Regaltos coming in from the left flank, helping out his teammates, avenging their death. Gets one knock, gets a second knock, gets the finish on them. He is going to be on a high right now. Sangwon still knocked out. Can Mortal and his teammate get to him in time? I doubt it. I doubt it. I think Destro and Beachma might capitalize on this, but they've got to be careful because Fnatic is sniffing not too far off as well.
They are indeed. And the thing is, I can't really blame Yuma for going for that push. Regaltos was all by his lonesome. I think they were aware of that. The thing is, he clutched it out, though. The 1v2, he won it, played it spectacularly well, and with that Yuma, but just down to 2 players round. And now Regaltos has got Mortal nearby as well, as Jonathan's going to find Ted. Daljit from the distance, rattling up bullets. He blows it up. That's Zegod. He's going to go meet his maker. And that is a huge win indeed for Orange Rock. They have lost a player, and now TSM Entity on this rotation, they've lost perhaps too many players than they'd be happy with. They have Jonathan alive. They have Clutch God alive. 2 very deadly players. In fact, this two-man squad, man for man, could potentially take face off against a full squad if they really do have to. But from a very good position, now they're just down to 2 members, although they have 6 players. In the meantime, Mortal will get naded down by MJ from Team Celts, and he's on his knees waiting for Regaltos to come in for the res.
Now, although the boys from TSM are getting this little high ground at the edge of the zone, it is going to be a little dicey situation because if the zone pulls off from them, they are going to have a lot of opposition as and when they have to move downhill. And of course, you are going to get caught out. But who is caught out right now is going to be Mortal as he bleeds behind his vehicle. I believe someone from Celts actually got the better of him. Regaltos is going to pick a fight with the Celts, but that is not going to be good enough. And Soul is going to get eliminated in the 13th position with 2 kills courtesy of Regaltos. So good outing by the lad, but I guess they were outplayed by Celts. Celts again, they have been on a roll. They need these kills. They need these games. The morale is going to be super high in the camp. And, once you get that momentum rolling, nothing is going to stop you except that backpack, which is actually going to put me in a fit of laughter right now. That was actually kind of cute.
That is a cute backpack. Yeah, he does have a monkey. He does have a monkey on his back. He's got a monkey on his back. But in the end, it is going to be the kill coming in from the distance, which will end Godlike's not Godlike, but rather Orange Rock's run so far. And it's suffering quite a few casualties, some of the favorites, but Celts are looking good. We are down to the final 37 players in the server, the final 11 teams. And this is risky from Godlike, running around with the vehicles. But just for a short distance, setting up a little bit of cover. This is kind of like barren landscape if you think about it. Yes, it is a little mountainous. Yes, there's a little bit of ledge there. But a flag coming in, there's no cover nearby. There's maybe a couple of trees. So this party van is definitely going to come in handy when Team Thumblers decide to make a move. But Team Celts, at the moment, looking phenomenal. 4 kills for them, and every single one of them alive.
I mean, I think that's what you need at this stage, right? I mean, the confidence comes along with your teammates when you know that you have your flank secured, you know that you have your backside looked after. The Celts are definitely going to be, in a good spot, and they have that high location pretty much in the zone, so they don't have to move around, but they have to basically fend off all the wolves that are going to be heading their way. That's the only issue. But I'm sure that if each of them just plants their weapon at one end and it's like, all right, this side is mine, you take the other one. They can actually control the flow of the game right now while we join HP as he's jumping down like Spider-Man.
Parkour!
I think, well, parkour. Damn it, I should have said parkour, but he almost broke his ankle over there. I wonder if he did a tuck and roll, though, because if he didn't do that, then come on, that's not style points. But what is stylish is blowing up to a grenade, and Existence has gone down to Rox's nade, and, Is he going to get taken out? Athanki has been spotted out. TSM Entity are going to find themselves at the receiving end of things as they are eliminated in the 11th position. The 4 Horsemen are out with 6 kills to their names, while Megastars are going up against MGZ, as Blay likes to call them, and
Mugzed, you mean?
crawlers as well, Mugzed. So they are having a fight on 2 fronts, while another grenade can actually be devastating for here. Is Gale going to get knocked out? Oh my goodness, Gronton is finished by that grenade. I do believe that that knock just came in from elsewhere, but Rox is going to walk off with that kill. And lot of nades over here, Blay. Gary OP is now unleashing some firepower, but he gets knocked out by one of his own nades.
Yes, he does. And while that fight's happening, we have a fight between Synergy, and I'm not sure if that's Team Tumblers. My eyes are betraying me right now, but you can see the picture at the bottom right. Synergy are in a battle for survival. The blue at their back, so they need to push up here. Rez is coming in, as it is going to be Sirvi, and I was correct. It is Team Tumblers. Sirvi is going to come around the corner, but he doesn't come pre-firing across. Strider from bot trying to get the knock, though, and I do believe with that, Synergy will be knocked out just with 2 kills. Team Tumblers knocking out Synergy, and VSG Crawlers will be joining them. And with that, we are down to the final 8 and rather the final 25 players. Fnatic, though, quietly, just 2 kills to their name, but all 4 alive. And they have been waiting patiently, very, very patiently, XP. And maybe now is the time for the orange and black to strike.
I mean, this is the time that they have. They can't leave it too late. They can't leave it for the next game. I mean, if they want to make an impact, if they want to make sure they go to the World League, now is when they have to act. And they are out of the zone, so they have a little bit of opposition in the form of Mumbai Esports at one end. I do believe Team Extreme behind them, as far as an Elementrix, of course. Well, kind of behind them outside the zone. So always is all you need to do is make sure that you keep an eye out in the back. There's a lot of opposition that's going to be coming in. Well, very well done on the smokes over here. Make a smoke screen, and if you just have a look at the minimap right there, you see that little line, that little notch just below the halfway mark on towards the right side. That is a place that these boys are going to be aiming for, because if they can get that dip, they can have that protection from Mumba and the cells, who are basically towards the northwest of the map. But they have to be careful. I do believe Megastars are going in for the play, and Megastars are now in contention to actually block them off, and that is something that we might see right now. Demon is knocked out back there. Whether he gets picked up or not, we're going to have to find out. But now, Frank, you see, all their attention is behind them.
No.
Right? They will get those kills, but they've got to be careful. Now their backs are exposed to Synergy, so I wonder what is going to happen over here. But I think Ronak has found out a member of Synergy. 2 of them are knocked down. I do believe Ash is the one who's keeping them at bay. So that was actually wonderful by Fnatic, the way they, made sure that their backside still remained clear, although we have Mr. Hyozu from Elementrix who is powering through.
Yeah, the problem right now for Fnatic is they are in the open. They had a little bit of a broken warehouse to have some cover for the time being, but now in the open, they got some hay bales. Those hay bales are pretty powerful, mind you. And Hyozu, you took his name, and he's going to get taken out as Godlike. Skill will be blown to his knees. We're down to the final 6 teams. Mumba, 1 player still alive. Godlike with 2, while 1 is just crawling around on his knees. Team Thumblers, 2 players alive. Celts with 2. Megastars and Fnatic, all 4. Megastars, just to 1 point, but the 4 players staying alive is huge. Fnatic, though, they have 7 points, but 3 players now, as one's been taken down. Rox dropping bullets, rather just like tossing bullets towards Megastars. And I like what he's doing here, is repositioning himself. He sees that drop, and the drop could potentially be some cover for him as he wants to get this flank onto Megastars. Maxi from Team Thumblers running across through the smoke, and in all the chaos, Ash will be found out, and that is going to be Fnatic getting knocked down in 6th position. However, they do get 8 kills, so that's 14 points to their name, and we're now down to the final 5. Team Thumblers in the middle of all the fray. Megastars 3 alive, a little bit of cover for them, and Team Celts as well, 2 players, and they have that drop as cover for Mr. Rox.
That little ridge, that notch that I was talking about is exactly what they were going for. But like I said, Megastars kind of beat them to it. Maybe they held off a little bit too long. Had they been in that position, they could have spotted Megastars coming in from the open. They could have gotten them. But that is the way the cookie crumbles. And Megastars, in fact, get the better of Fnatic. But they've got to be careful. Their position is exposed. And Rock's coming in with a Molotov. That is going to be just a little bit too short. He is going to lob another one. I think Onko is definitely going to burn a little bit to that. While Godlike get eliminated in 5th position. Celts going in for the kill. He gets the finish on Onko, but Swag is still the last man remaining for his team. He gets taken out by MJ, just as I said that. So the Megastars bowing out in the 4th position with 4 kills. We are now down to the last 3 teams. like it would be, I mean, on average, you would say it's 2 players a team, but nuh-uh. Celts have 3 members, and I believe Tamalas have 2. And wait a second. Bhishma is the last man standing. Can he do something big here, Play? Now is the time he needs to channel that warrior, unleash it, and do something good. Because if you have a look, MJ and Rox are going to be in a position to hit Maxi, and they do. MJ gets a knock on Maxi, and he finishes them as quickly as I said that. So Striker has his work cut out. Oh boy, it can go either way right now.
It can go either way, but right now, with 5 alive in Bhishma, like I said, he got to channel his warrior spirit. He's named after one of the most mythical warriors in Indian mythology, and the positioning from Celts, Rox, and MJ, they have a little bit of reach to work with. Now, Striker is aware where they are, but the moment he rattles off a bullet, his position will be compromised, and he is very much aware of that, and that's something that he doesn't want to really give out. He's a lone man standing for his lineup, and I do believe for Celts, they have 3 players alive. Indeed, Atunki far away, but he's providing oversight from above, that little bit of a mount, and Bhishma and Striker. They're in sniffing distance, they're in kissing distance even, and they have no idea. They're just waiting out the circle, but the problem is for Celts, all 3 members have the safe zone, unless I'm very much mistaken, and Bhishma and Striker, they will have to make a move. Unfortunately, not much foliage to work with. So once they start clawing their way up across that little bit of a flat land, it's going to be exposed. I think this is going to be GG, if you ask me. Celts are going to get the second chicken dinner unless something truly terribly goes wrong for them.
I mean, well, I guess you said it all. I mean, until or unless they make some major blunders, I don't see how they are not going to walk off with that chicken dinner. And that just goes to show that, they have been playing spectacularly, to be honest with you. And they've done it well. And, well, here is the result. They are on track to get the second chicken dinner of these. Is it the second or is it third? I do believe it's the second.
It's a second. Right? It's a second. Yeah.
So, they've been playing consistently elsewhere. They've had their kills to match the placement points that they've got. So I think they are going to take it away until or unless Bhishma and Striker have their all mics on and are conversing right now and be like, yo, are you the last guy? Yeah, man. Are you the last guy? Yeah, man. Do you want to team up on these guys? Nah, man. I'm going to the zone right now. So Bhishma is actually going to go out. Mumba Esports out in third position, to be honest, to beg your pardon. And 5 kills to their names. Atunki is going to go on the prowl. I think he spotted him. He is going to aim. He is going to shoot. And through the magic of, those bullets kind of went through the wall over there for us, but they were actually